My name's Bob Rajewski. I'm a visiting scholar at Coastal Carolina University, and I'm also a partner in a company called P-Gain LLC, where we provide consulting services for small to medium-sized family real estate offices and small development firms. Part of the company also involves doing Argus training, both practical and for certification, that I do for roughly 9 to 10 colleges along the East Coast. Well, the great thing is there's a lot of opportunities out there to explore it, and not all of them cost money. So if someone wants to get just an idea of how the software works, there are a variety of seminars that are offered, even at Coastal Carolina, demonstrations. That'll give the students a perspective on what the software's purpose is, what the output is, and where they could use it as a career growth. If they then find that they want to explore it further, they could go into the areas of an Argus workshop from a practical perspective, where they learn hands-on how to use the software that professionals use in the industry today. And if they want to go the final step, there's an Argus certification offered through Argus itself. What we do in these workshops is we want to first explore how the software works behind the scenes, because many a times it could be viewed as a black box. And you're inputting variables, but you really don't know how the calculations occur. So on these workshops, we go behind the scenes and build these pro formas first in Excel and understand the important concepts of tenant rollover, valuation, market pricing, and so forth. Then we take those same variables and we place them into the Argus software program itself. And those inputs will work out almost identically to the numbers reported in Excel. With that as a basis, it's really up to the student to decide how much they want to become proficient in it, or what degree of proficiency, I should say. Because just like anything in life, it's about practice, practice, practice. The more the Argus runs you do, either in the classroom setting or outside of the classroom, you got to use it or you're going to lose it in terms of its content and understanding. You have to continue to use it throughout the course of your career. Argus will take the data and the assumptions and allow the operator to take that information, digest it, dissect it, and then input it into the Argus program to ultimately determine whether a project is feasible or not feasible. And then, where Argus is a bit more dynamic as well, is you could enter in multiple properties, say your whole family portfolio of real estate holdings, and to determine what the cash flows are for the entire portfolio of properties held, or the value. And then from there you can decide on various forms of debt or equity, structured finance. Real estate is the largest asset class in the United States. And with that, the opportunities within the real estate industry are vast. You could have a core focus just simply on managing real estate held by corporations, AstraZeneca, DuPont. Any of those have massive real estate holdings, and they need professionals who understand real estate fundamentals, valuation, and various things in order to maintain their campuses. So Argus could be used in that one type of extreme venue. On the other end of the spectrum, you could go into lending and be a lender, and you're going to be valuing these properties that you're lending on by way of software such as Argus. And in the middle, you could be an asset manager who's responsible as the owner representative to make financial decisions, business decisions every day. And one of the key tools that you need to make those decisions is an Argus software type platform. Like anything, when you start out, it's always harder. Learning is hard. But once you get through that first 4 or 5 hours of just instruction, you see the light bulb go off. You say, oh, I get it. This is how the software works. Here's how I manipulate it, rather than it controlling me, I control it. And I think that's all part of this training that we do here at the school, where we understand fundamentally what's going on behind the scenes before we cut it loose and we go right into Argus. It depends on what they want to do, of course, but fundamentally, there's always a need for analysts to go within the real estate industry for brokerage, for underwriting for debt, for asset management, for affordable housing, for corporate finance, you name it. Every one of those has a touch point of real estate. So for students graduating from this program, having had some of those fundamental real estate courses, and now mastering the skill, that important skill, that tool of Argus and use of Excel modeling, it's really up to them where they want to take it. Some will go right into brokerage, being a financial analyst, and work their way up from there. Others will take that knowledge that they've gained from this school and take it in other areas, such as affordable housing, and using that very same software to come up with pro formas, budgets, and so forth for affordable housing deals. For MBA students, I would assume they're a bit older, have much more seasoning than an undergrad because they've been out in the business for a while and in the industry. Generally, what I've seen over the years is for master's degree students, they're just trying to get that next step of skills in order to be promoted within their company or see other moves outside of their company with that added skill set, because they're making more intelligent decisions by having the ability to use that software to make those types of decisions. From the teaching perspective, I've been teaching part-time since 1997 at a variety of schools. And I think the one that really brings it to meaning to me is when students come up at the end of a semester, 15 weeks, and say, you know, I really learned a lot that's a practical use from you, and I could carry it with me for several years down the road. Or, you know, I'm up to roughly 2,700 students right now that I've taught over the years. I'll come across a few on the street and I'll say, hey, I took a course from you. I'm still using that model that you gave me back in the day. So, you know, a little bit of a legacy, but it's great, those sort of accolades.